In about 2 hours, Ottawa will release new national pandemic modeling numbers, and CTV got an early look at what they're saying. In short, it's bad. By nearly every measure, the COVID-19 crisis in this country is getting worse. And if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to look at possibly at 60,000 new cases a day. There are new measures now in Manitoba and BC to stop the spread, and new restrictions being announced in Ontario later today. But are they enough? We're joined by Raywat Deonandan, an epidemiologist at the University of Ottawa. Thank you so much for being here. This is such an important topic. Let's jump right in. Will adding new restrictions like closing in-store shopping, hair salons, would that make a difference, or is a complete lockdown the best and better option?
Everything will make a difference. The question before us is, do we want to keep this roller coaster of closures and openings, or do we want a solid solution now that can keep things low until we reach herd immunity through the vaccine in months or years' time? So yeah, the restrictions will work. The question is, will they work enough, and will they have a sustained long-term effect?
Well, let's go to the other side of the world, Australia, for a case study. The entire state of Victoria, all 6.9 million residents went into lockdown on June 9th. The lockdown lifted in October, so after 113 days. Since then, they haven't had a single new case. Should we be considering extreme measures like that here at home?
I think we should consider it. Now, that's not up to me, the epidemiologist, or the medical community to make that determination. The people decide that. Our job is to put the options on the table with the risks and the benefits. It's definitely an option and one we should consider. And if not the strict elimination strategy of Australia, then a hard suppression followed by mitigation. And that would look like a temporary lockdown, with getting the cases down to single digits, and then deploy extraordinary public health assets like backwards contact tracing, a lot of testing to keep us there like the South Koreans do. Or we could just do mass testing like the Slovakians did or Wuhan did in their second wave. A lot of options are on the table. What is not tolerable is these sort of tepid halfway approaches that keep us in crisis mode interminably.
Is there another country we can look to as an example on how to stop the second wave? One that really, I mean, listen, we can look at one country or another, but just because one country doesn't mean it's a solution that would fit the particular circumstance of a country like Canada.
Right. So there's some common characteristics to all the countries that have done well. Number one, they acted early and decisively. Number two, they got really good at case identification. That's testing and contact tracing. Number three, they controlled their borders and prevented reinfection by quarantining and testing people coming back in. And number four, they had a strong national strategy. We don't have a national strategy here. We have a mosaic of different approaches, all of which are, different in terms of our goals. Is the goal to keep the hospital system at capacity? Is the goal to keep people from getting sick? What is the goal here? And we'd like a longer term strategy, not just for a couple of weeks out, but months out, because the vaccine is here. We have to learn how to sit tight and not collapse as a society until the vaccine gives herd immunity. So to answer your question directly, South Korea, Taiwan, Slovakia, I mentioned, Uruguay did extraordinarily well, and they're a poor country, and they did it by acting early and investing in really good testing. So there are things that we can do still that we should do.
Lastly, I know that we're looking at countries for what they've done right, but are there lessons to glean from our friends south of the border over what they've done wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. Relying on mitigation only, that's hand washing and mask wearing. That's good, it's not enough. Number two is denying the seriousness. Number three is having this diverse, heterogeneous approach across the country. You need a significant, continuous, solid approach throughout the entire country. The principles of containment must be uniformly applied throughout the nation.
Raywat Deonandan, thank you so much for this. We really appreciate your insights.
Thank you.